Hello everybody, you join me whilst I'm doing a little bit of the side quest, the Food for Thought side quest. I'm actually doing the lower difficulty. Why am I doing the lower difficulty? Well, it's actually something I would recommend to a lot of people because there have been a secret change which I didn't anticipate seeing, but actually could be quite good to scoop up. Look, it's not a super spicy rewards across all of the different difficulties, but this is a good opportunity to grab something because you might be like, oh, let's go and check out like threat level 3, for example. What's there? Well, there's a little bit of tier 2 primordial dust that you could just go and auto fight this 6-star shards. Yeah, okay. Look, it's not groundbreaking, but there are other difficulties. Like, what about threat level 4, for example? Well, let's have a look. Well, tier 2 primordial dust, some 7-star shards, a little bit titan crystal shards, just a little bit 6-star crystal shards of relics. Yeah, maybe you get a Valiant from a Valiant gets to a 7-star by doing this extra bit of grind. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. So what's the significance? And hello, everybody. Well, yeah, Kabam have said that they haven't said anything, but they have changed it. Yeah, if you look online and go look at the website under Food for Thought, it says win fights with Saga champions to gain syringes. Use these to enter Food for Thought to take one of 3 paths, each with unique rewards and buff profile. All rewards are only earnable once. Well, yeah, I mean, that's fine. And that's great. And that is, of course, applicable because if we go into threat level 5, which I've just done, and then have a look at some of the paths, yeah, that's right. It's not there. But yeah, if you wanted to scoop some extra rewards, and I do say to people, I will welcome it to kind of go down to the lower difficulties to grab some of those extra rewards. But as I said, they're not going to be things that a lot of players want to get. I mean, I'm saving up at the moment. Like, why are you doing it, Rich? Well, very good point. There's some stuff there that I do want to scoop up, and I am looking to accumulate more Fantastic Force Valiant crystals to do a bigger opening for a video, probably in the next month or so when I take a little bit of a break away from the game. Nothing serious. Just going on a little bit of a vacation, or as we say in the UK, a holiday. It's nice to go on vacations and holidays now and again. So with that, all that being said, before you jump into the quest, a bit of a reminder from me to anytime you jump into quests that give back Mysterium, because, by the way, clear your Mysterium, and that's the warning, make sure that you have cleared it. I nearly didn't, but I remembered, or I might reminded to myself that I did. There are some special objectives as well that do give back Mysterium as a result, so guess what? You don't want to over stash yourself when it comes to Mysterium. You want to make sure that you've got enough, but also that you haven't gone over enough when you want to buy some nice things. And something that will be quite cool soon, I want to say next month, is a new saga, which probably means there's a new chase. Which will mean, though, this is your last chance to get yourself Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic, but also the research grants, are going to change for something else. So it makes sense to have about 15k in the back pocket to then buy, when October comes around, the brand new chase token thing system that is in place for that. So that's, again, a little bit of a forewarning from me. Okay, so we've done all that. We've set all the ground rules. We've covered all the stuff before you go in. So let's go in and have a look at some of the fights, show some footage, talk about some cool champion options, and just realize that it's actually a lot easier than you might think. Yes, it is a lot easier than you might think. I think this is meant to be like an easygoing thing for players to go and do. It's meant to, I feel, tie into like Marvel Zombies. It's a bit of a shame because I don't think that this is like a zombies-based event that maybe people were kind of like looking forward to. We still don't know what the events are for August, not August, October, so we'll have to see what that is. But I really would one day like to see a Marvel Zombies event. And of course, we're all holding out hope for that Franken Castle and potentially like a Halloween-themed event. So we'll have to see how that all breaks down. Right, in terms of quest or paths, let's start off with bottom right. And bottom right, you have Airwalker, you've got Carolina Dean, I think that is, and Odin at the very end. This is rich get richer. So the more buffs you have, right, the more unique buffs you have, the better chance you have to get like power. Cosmic champions are normally like this. There are some mystic champions like Juggernaut, which is a great option, by the way, Mordo, White Tiger. I'd make sure, if you don't know or you're not very confident with Airwalker, bring in a power control champion, preferably non-tech, but it's very difficult to find them. There are that power control pretty well that are not tech, but there's not a huge amount. If you've got Doctor Doom is a great option here. One of my favorites in order to take this down, so I would recommend that if you've got it. However, rich get richer, and of course, Juggernaut becoming the better option. Obviously, as well, if you see on screen there's any kind of lagging and spiking stuff, I have ordered a new cable. I've just bitten the bullet and kind of like ordered one, so it'll be here in the weekend. So next week, hopefully, I don't have any kind of judders, stutters, and things breaking. We'll have to see how that kind of like goes. And how it could be worse. It could be my iPad is kind of like on the way out, and that's more of an expensive thing to replace, or it's something to do with the Elgato, which don't get me started on that. That's something inbuilt that should be fine. But anyway, technology, we love it. So the other champion is pretty easy to do. Keep Caroline Dean out of the basking in the sun. She's like a tortoise. Tortoises like to bathe underneath basking lights and sun. So yes, keep her out of the sun. You'll be fine. Just do that. Easy. Same with Odin. Just avoid special attacks. Easy. In terms of standard She-Hulk, if you make sure you don't get hit in the block, because block proficiency is going to be eaten. Try and avoid that if you can. Intercepts. Keep the champion to an SP1. SP1 rotate the champion, therefore you should be again. This is an easy champion fight. You should be absolutely fine. Skill-based champions for the win for this. Any will do. I use cheelth, pretty good champion. Cleanse, yeah, easy. Right down the center, you've got yourself Infamous Iron Man. You've got the Maker, and you've got Bastion. Any cosmic champions will likely do. But I would recommend bringing in any kind of champion that's a evade counter-based champion. And do watch out for Transducer and Langer. So Langer being whenever the attacker's power reaches 0, they take 180% of the defender's attack. But also Transducer, the attacker's offensive combat power rate is increased by 60%. That isn't particularly bad, but the power draining, but also some of the champions do have power control interaction. So power control immune based champions could be good here, but the evade based countering for the Maker is probably the thing to watch out for. Other than that, Infamous Iron Man is not something to worry about, and providing you've got a good cosmic strong counter, Serpent for the win for the entire path, by the way, then I think you'll be absolutely laughing, because this isn't a difficult side quest. It's actually relatively fun. I actually had a good time playing this. Over to the left hand corner, and Dragon Man, there is aggression regeneration. So if you opt for bringing in a regeneration reverse based champion or like petrified champion like Photon, this could be a good option for this. But you've got buff toggle, unstoppable. So it depends how you want to play against this. Okay, so I took in Dr. Doom because I wanted to suppress any kind of power control by Dragon Man, and also suppress the unstoppable. So having a stagger based champion worked quite well here, but that doesn't mean to say that's the only option. Cheelth has grit, and other champions have slow debuffs, so they could be good options. And also keeping your aggression up as part of aggression regeneration is probably a good way to kind of like look at, just be proactive and hit as much as possible. But I cheese the entire fight with Hulk. So who am I to say good advice? Because effectively you can literally stun cheese through the champion, and you're absolutely laughing. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. Use Hulk for the entire path, Rich? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, maybe I'm saying that. The team that I use is on the left-hand side. So yeah, look, it is what it is. If you got the options, you got the options. If you got other champions, you got other champions. She-Hulk can be done with debuff shruggers, cheelth, kingpin, Black Panther, Civil War. Like, there are plenty of options there. So there's a lot of fun things. So yeah, hopefully you're having fun with that particular quest, and of course got the Mysterium objective as a result. And the final thing is, do all difficulties. Well, that's a personal option, isn't it? Because energy cost is high in this game, But if you want some of the shards that come from it, and you're like, well, I could just kind of blitz through this without having to worry with auto fighting you're doing its business, then you have at it, my friends. You have at it. And that's where I'm going to end you for the video. Or am I? Yeah, seems like there's some kind of like side event type thing going on at the moment, or kind of like something that plays into next month. Because we've had a pathogen that's been detected. Who are you in the community being naughty? Who needs like a cure for something? Because a new gifting badge has been kind of like given, but it doesn't say like what it's all about. An identified pathogen has been detected within your proximity data sent to Mr. Fantastic for further processing. Initial analysis shows signs of the pathogen may be spread through salival transmission. Look, I ain't kissing any of you, and so some of you been kissing each other. So have a word with yourself, you naughty peoples. Please stand by for a cure delivery. Please avoid close contact with others this time. So I don't know what this kind of like, if we go to like gifts, what can we send? Friendly signal. This is asking you to ping your location claim. Okay, well, we've got to use energy, which seems weird. Well, what happens with this friendly, what does it say? They're asking you to ping your location and claim to accept. I'm gonna, I don't know what it's about. Like, I'm gonna just like, maybe I'll just like ping, I ping let us be cereal. Has there been like another event kind of pop up? I have no idea. I'm gonna reboot a second. And nothing's appeared. So, well, I watch this space, everybody. We'll find out what that is in the next thrilling episode of this, whatever this is. And that's it. That now it's the end of the video, because, and I was thinking about putting this out Thursday as being my first video of the day on Thursday, but I think due to what I perceive to be lots of confusion that will probably be around, I'll probably do a follow-up tomorrow and put this out on Wednesday. So fresh content from me, freshly squeezed. I'm back, baby. I'm posting more stuff. Bye.